Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to discuss attention, perception, and memory from educational psychology. Disclaimer: the video content has been made available for informational and educational purpose only. Let's start with the introduction. In this unit, the meaning and definition of the mental process, attending its nature, type of attention, determinants of attention, ways and means of securing the better attention in the class, a meaning of sensation and perceptions, and the factors which affect the perceptions, law of perception, meaning of memory, kinds of memory, factors affecting the memory, signs of good memory, and techniques of promoting better memory are to be discussed. First, we'll move with attention, meaning of attention. The modern psychologists who believe in the integrated function of the mind do not consider attention as an independent faculty or the unique power of mind. As it is a process or an activity of the mind, it is better to speak of attending rather than attention. If we are clear that what we are speaking of is an ongoing process or activity, then it is all right to use either of these terms synonymously for the sake of easy expression and convention. Whenever we are awake or conscious, we seem to be attending to something or other, as a mind, when active, has to attend on some stimulus. As William James pointed out, the field of attention and consciousness are not identical. Only a few content in the field of our consciousness are selected and attended to. Others, though experienced by us, may not be clearly and distinctly felt by us. Figuratively, we can speak of a margin, a fringe, and focus, central area of clearness in our field of consciousness. Terms of figure and ground used by Gestalt psychologists almost correspond to the focus and the margin respectively. Stimuli that are attended to are in the focus, while others lies in the margin of our conscious field. The focus and the margin alternate. The stimulus now in focus may drift to the margin and may be replaced by some other stimulus, which was earlier in the margin. Let's move on to the definition of attention. Attending can be defined as a mental activity of focusing on certain aspects of one current experiences and ignoring others. Attending may be considered as a kind of mental set which predisposes the individual to concentrate upon one and screen out others. Concentrate on one and screen out others. Such attentive sets involve not only the mental selectivity but receptor adjustment, a general postural adjustment like leaning forward. Receptor adjustment is focusing our eyes or turning our head. As such, there appears to be affective and cognitive aspects to the cognitive activity attending. McDougall defines attending as striving to cognize. Attention increases one's efficiency and is vital for acquisition of skills. It also an aid to remembering and recall. What are the type of attention? Attention are of two kinds. One is voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary is also called volitional attention. Involuntary is also called non-volitional attention. Involuntary attention is spontaneous, free, natural, and passive. Not much effort is needed for this type of attention. Attention of young children is of this nature. This type of attention involves some effort or will. Sometimes we have to force ourselves to attend to the objects or even in which we lack interest. In such cases, we take efforts to set out our attention on the stimuli in question. Thus, we can say voluntary attention is intentional. Sometimes the effort is required to initiate or start attending, which one it has got to start through effort, then goes on effortlessly. For example, it may require effort on our part to start reading a new book. Once started reading, we may be absorbed in reading if a book is well written. This type of attention triggered by the effort is known as implicit volitional attention. In another type of voluntary attention, efforts may be required continuously to start as well as sustain attention throughout the activity. Such type of attention is called explicit voluntary attention. Most of the activities carried out without much interest belong to this category. What is someone referred to as a habitual attention is akin to involuntary attention, as habitually attending to something may make it automatic after some time. The bus driver attending to the traffic signals, even the voluntary attention, the interest in present, as without the some interest will not attend. In such case, interest is an indirect nature rather than direct and immediate. Nature, characteristics of attention. Following are the characteristics of the attention. Attention is a selective process. Attention is a process of selecting among items not yet entered in the field of consciousness. A selection of sometimes stimuli to enter consciousness while others remains excluded. Attending is the first step in the mental process of knowing called cognition. Perception is a function of attention. Attention is three dimensional. Attention is not only a mental selectivity, but it involves affective, emotion related, cognitive, related to the motor activity aspects in the cognitive activity attending. McDougall defines attending as a striving to cognize a stimulus clearly. Attention needs more adjustment like turning our head, focusing our eyes, and leaning forward, etc. Attention is not a divisible. We cannot attentively do two things at the same time. If we try to attentively to do two things at a time, both activities will suffer. Attention is fluctuating in nature. We cannot be attending continuously on any object for more than 10 seconds because attention shift from one object to another or one aspect of the object to the another aspect. Span of attention is limited. The span of attention refers to the number of independent, distinct, or the separate stimuli that can be attended to by an individual at a glance. Experiments reveal that the adult span of attention is between 6 to 8 hours for ungrouped dots. Internal factors like one mental set, need, interest, mood, and psychological condition of an individual, and external factors or stimulus related factors like size, intensity, contrast, change, novelty, movement, repetition, etc. are the determinants of the attention. Interest and effort play significant role in attending to an object. The reason behind our attention to an object is that it appears attractive to us and we are all also interested in it. Let's revise the nature and characteristics of attention. Attention is a selective process, first step, three dimensional, more adjustment, not divisible, fluctuating, span of attention is limited, internal factors play the interest and efforts. In the attention is a selective process, a field of consciousness, a selection of sometimes some items or stimuli to enter into consciousness. It's a first step. It's a perception is a function of attention. It's a three-dimensional, like it involves affective, cognitive, and in the cognitive activity. McDowell defining attending as a striving to cognize a stimulus clearly. Motor adjustment, turning our head, focusing our eyes, leaning forward. Attention is not divisible. We cannot do two things at a time. Attention is fluctuating in nature. We cannot be attending continuously on any object for more than 10 seconds because attention shift from one object to another or one aspect of the object to another aspect. Span of attention for the adult, span of attention is 6 to 8 for the ungrouped dots. Internal factors like mental set, need, interest, mood, psychological conditions of an individual, and external factors like size, intensity, contrast, change, novelty, etc. Interest and efforts play important role in attending to an object. The reason behind our attention to an object is that is appear attractive to us. We are also interested in it. Determinants of attention. If the attention is a process of selection, then the question arises on what basis is this selection made? Actually, there are many factors which determine the process of attending. Those factors which reside in the object attended to are called objective factors. As these factors operate on the individual from outside, They are also known as external factors. These factors include size, intensity, contrast, novelty, movement, frequency of repetition, systematic form of stimulus. The psychology of advertising makes good use of these objective factors, and teachers also has to use them profitably in the classroom. One may attend to objects even when many or most of the objective factors are absent. This is made possible due to the factors that operate from within the individual. These factors, such as the interest, relevant or need, mental set, mood, and psychological conditions operating from within the individual, are known as subjective or internal factors. So, determinants of attention, objective factors, and subjective factors. Under the objective factors, size, intensity, change, contrast, novelty, movement, repetition, systematic form. Subjective factors, interest, need, mental set, mood, and psychological conditions. So objective factor is size, intensity, change, contrast, novelty, movement, repetition, systematic form. Subjective factors is interest, need, mental set, mood, and psychological conditions. Let's see each factors in the next part.